that Shania had the baseball cap on. I don't think it's just to stay incognito. It's to keep her hair controlled in this incredible wind.
Yes, the ball cap, best way to keep your hair controlled.
Good to know.
You have long hair. I do that all the time. She's a smart lady. All right, it's gusty today. We talked about it being gusty today. It will be gusty tomorrow, but a little less gusty tomorrow. We're down to 18 degrees. We did get to a high of 19 for today. Gusts closer to 54 kilometers per hour right now in most of the city, but you can see all the blue sky. It's been a beautiful day, but yes, a gusty day. 18 again at the airport, 19 downtown, and the all-new Big Four is having its grand opening sales event at Tazaa Park. Tazaa Park is also at 18 degrees. When we look at these next 24 hours, you can see we're expecting a whole lot of sunshine again for tomorrow, a similar daytime high of 19, but instead of gusts 50, 60 kilometers per hour, we're looking at 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. Your full forecast just ahead, Ian.
Medium rare. That's just the way it is.
I'm the, you know, tricky medium.
The tricky medium?
Yeah.
Okay.
On a filet mignon where people say that's not how you do it.
You know what? I think people are barbecuing right now.
Right now. And those steaks look delicious. It's great weather. I mean, it is windy. We're looking at gusty conditions through the rest of this week, just not this gusty. Here's your Capital Chef sky cam. You can see the blue out there. We had blue sky, sunshine, a couple clouds, and yes, the wind gusts. So we're going to talk about temperatures first. 18 degrees is the temperature in Calgary right now. 19 was the daytime high so far. We may bump back to 19, maybe even 20 over this next hour. 22 right now in Brooks, 21 in Medicine Hat, and 18 in Lethbridge, 11 in Banff. Banff getting a little more cloud cover than areas off to the east. All right, winds today. Peak gust, maximum wind gust in Calgary so far, 57 kilometers per hour. 87 for Pincher Creek and Lethbridge, and 80 for Medicine Hat. So we did talk about today being a very, very gusty day. I want to show you tomorrow. When we look at tomorrow, this forecast tomorrow later in the day, and you can see it will still be gusty, you know, for Pincher Creek, 46 kilometers per hour, 44 for Lethbridge, but not as gusty as it has been today. 33, anywhere from 30 to 40 kilometer per hour gusts likely in Calgary and down through into Claresholm and up to Red Deer and around Drumheller and Brooks. And south of that, you're looking at 40, potentially even 50 at times. All right, so when we look at the radar, satellite imagery, what's happening is this ridge of high pressure is building in, and it's basically like this protective bubble, which is why we got the sunshine here. But you can see a lot of activity for central Alberta with the thunderstorms through central Alberta, Edmonton area, and tracking off to the east. Just to zoom in and show you what's happening here. Calgary quiet, to the south quiet, a little bit of spillover into our side of the mountains here. So some cloud cover in Banff, for example, and off to almost Canmore is possible as we go through these next couple hours. And you can see by Cereal and Hannah, we do have some pop-up showers, and that really is possible over these next couple of hours as well, as you can see right here. All right, when we look at the forecast and the future cast as we go through the rest of this evening, again, Hannah, Oyen, Coronation, all that possibility of getting some pop-up showers through up until about midnight is possible, and then it clears out. Then we're looking at things clearing out to give us sunshine for most communities in central and southern Alberta for tomorrow. So a very nice day, less gusty as well. When we look at that Capital Chef 5-day forecast, it's a pretty nice forecast for our first full week of June, I guess you could say.
If the wind calms down, it really should be almost ideal weather.
Yeah, a lot of people sending in pictures saying, nice walk except for.
Right.
It's the except for, yes. And, you know, in southern Alberta, we get the winds, and we're certainly getting them today, but overall a nice day. 18 degrees.
I know you guys covered that last night. That video makes it look so enormous.
Yeah, it looks like a much stronger one than it was, of course, but it was one of those days absolutely where there was that funnel cloud risk, and that one did make it to the ground and made itself into a tornado. So that was a very active day yesterday. There's still some activity for central Alberta today. I'll show you that on the radar in just a second. But at this point, it's been a bit of a tamer day for most communities. We've had the winds, though. That's what we've had yesterday and today. Calgary right now sitting at 17 degrees. 19 was our daytime high, and still holding on to the 20s in Brooks and Medicine Hat. 18 right now in Milk River, 17 in Lethbridge. So when we look at maximum wind gusts for today, 57 was the max wind gusts in Calgary, 63, so just over 60 in Red Deer. But check out Pincher Creek, Lethbridge, 87 kilometers per hour today, and 83 for Medicine Hat. So absolutely a very gusty day in most communities for southern Alberta. Now, as we head through tomorrow, this is shot at later in the day tomorrow, but as we head through tomorrow, we're looking at, yes, it will still be a little gusty, but it'll be a lot less gusty. So 30 to 40 kilometer per hour gusts for Calgary, and 40 to 50 kilometer per hour gusts from Pincher Creek to Lethbridge, and potentially Medicine Hat included in that as well. All right, when we look at radar satellite imagery, what's happening around us right now is that ridge of high pressure is building in, acting like a protective bubble. So yes, we're getting the winds, but we're not getting this active weather that's getting pushed and redirected around us into central Alberta. So just to zoom in, though, there are some pockets of rain from Drumheller over to Cereal and Oyen. That's the potential really up until about midnight, and there may even be some non-severe thunderstorms embedded in that as well, as you can see here. So it shouldn't be a really active night, but showers are possible, again, from Drumheller over to Cereal up to Coronation as well, Hannah included in that. When we look at Calgary, we're not going to see any of that activity. We're actually going to be pretty quiet, and even as we head through tomorrow, this is a shot of tomorrow. Lots of sunshine for all communities in southern Alberta, and again, the winds will be a lot tamer as well. There will be some cloudy periods, and temperatures now will continue to climb. So 19 for tomorrow, then we get into those lower 20s for Thursday and Friday, and then we get into the mid-20s by the time we get into the weekend. Not looking at really any active weather until later on Sunday, but of course I will keep you posted as we approach the weekend. That's your Capital Chev 5-day forecast, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle.
Capital Chev Skycam, yes, it's gusty again today. We talked about today being gusty, tomorrow getting a little less gusty, but still a little windy. All right, we had a good amount of sunshine for today. We had some heat today, got up to 19 degrees in Calgary. Let's talk about a couple things before we get into the whole forecast here. We are now sitting at 17 degrees, gusts around 50 kilometers per hour. Today's high in Calgary, again, 19, which is bang on normal for this time of year. And of course, well below the record-breaking temperature for this day of 32.8. All right, when we look at what's happening in and around Calgary, Banff, you can see, yep, Banff is a little wet right now. Cochrane dry, Medicine Hat and Lethbridge dry but windy. So Cochrane a little less windy. Lethbridge, Medicine Hat had already had 80 kilometer per hour gusts, or just above that for today. When we look at radar and satellite, we have this ridge of high pressure that has built its way in. So that's basically redirecting most of this active weather up and around us, which is why we've had a lot of sunshine today, and it's been quite stable. We've had a little bit of spillover in the Banff area, of course, and just to zoom into that, Banff and through Canmore, potentially even making its way as far east as Cochrane through the evening hours, but really we're looking at this dying out in the overnight hours, so by about midnight, and then it clears out. But again, showers possible certainly for Banff and Canmore over these next few hours until about midnight. You can also see some showers that have been passing through Coronation, Hannah, Cereal over to Oyen, and just to the north of that, headed towards Provost, is a thunderstorm on the way there. So central Alberta, of course, seeing some more active weather from this system because they're not under the ridge of high pressure like we are. When we look at tomorrow, 19 for Salmon Arm, you can see a decent amount of cloud cover for the southern interior BC, Kamloops, Kelowna into the 20s, 19 for Edmonton, Red Deer, and down through Calgary and High River as well. This comes with a lot of sunshine for us, but again, it will be windy, just not as windy as today. Calgary looking at gusts 40 kilometers per hour, Lethbridge and Medicine Hat looking at about 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, so a lot better than today. UV index is at that high level really all this week, especially between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m., so you'll need the sunscreen. And when you look at that Capital Chev 7-day trend, we will go up from here, so into the 20s, low 20s for Thursday and Friday, mid-20s by the weekend. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. Let's return.